Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Guy. I'm going to be your math teacher this year. I want to run you through the Schoology platform that we're going to be using. Just a little bit to look at when you're in my Schoology classroom and kind of how to navigate, and just a little bit about what my expectations are for when you turn assignments in. So let's kind of give a little bit of an overview about what you're going to be seeing as we go through. The first thing I want you to do is look up here is the very first thing you'll see in every single lesson is a lesson overview. You should have saw this yesterday, and you're going to see it today and every day for the rest of the year. It's going to have objectives and an agenda, and the agenda should tell you everything that you need to accomplish in order to get full credit for the day. So for example, in this one, these objectives are kind of like the things that I want you to be able to do by the end, but the agenda is the thing that you should be able to go through and check mark off that you did all of these things. So for today, you're going to watch this introduction video. Hey, you're watching it right now. Good job. You're going to look at the work expectation document, watch the how to get what you want birthday video, answer questions, blah, 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 blah. Every single day, you should read this before you get started. And then at the end, you should come back and check this again just to make sure you did everything that's on this list. And if you missed anything, to go back and make sure that you know what you missed. If we go back into this, you'll see this is actually a little bit out of order on here, but you're going to see this introduction video that I'm making right now will be here. And then the next thing that should be there, and I'll actually move this right now, is this submitted work examples to show you what I expect from you when you go to submit your work, what I want it to look like. So let's take a look at that real quick. I want to talk you through that, and then you'll look at this on your own in a moment as well. There's going to be a lot of times in math that you're going to need to write down your work. The work is more important than the answer a lot of times in math. So I'm going to be really interested to see in your process and see what you wrote down. Because of that, you're going to be doing a lot of writing on a separate piece of paper, your work, and then submitting it through a picture. And I want to make sure that what you're submitting is what I want to see, because if you don't submit exactly what I want, it's going to be hard to grade. You might not be happy with the performance that you get on there. So let's take a look. We're actually going to scroll down and look at the good example first. So the main thing that I want from you guys is that I want it to be neat and easy to read. If you look at the good example, it's very easy to see my work. The other thing that you need to make sure that I'm going to stress is that each problem is numbered on the side here, and they are only numbered on the left-hand side so I can see them. Okay, that way I can go right through and see, oh, here's number one, here's their work. Here's number two, there's their work, and I don't have to go searching for your problems. The last thing I want you to pay attention to here is that the answers are circled. Okay, the answers are circled. Any answer that you get that you submit to me, you want to circle. That way I can see it right away, and I don't have to go searching. If I can't find your answer, then you're not going to get credit for it. So please make sure that you circle it so I can find your answer. Now, I want to compare that to the bad example up here. Okay, and there's a lot of things that we can notice about the bad example. Number one, the way that this picture is taken, I can't really see all the problems. Look, I see 1, 2, it looks like this 5 is cut off. I can't see what their full answer is. You know, this number 4 is cut off. I can't see all their work because of the kind of picture that they took. The other thing is that they're not all labeled on the left-hand column. I don't see 1, 2, 3 on down the row. In fact, it kind of looks like a lot of times what happens when we're not being careful about being neat, where the problems are kind of just all over the place and it's hard for me to follow. They need to all be in a column here, 1, 2, 3, on and on and on. Additionally, they did not circle their answers. Therefore, I can't really see where's the answer at, especially when it's sloppy like this. And last but not least, notice how number 3 and number 4 doesn't look like they showed any work. And everything that we do this year, it's going to be required that you show as much work as possible. And we'll talk more and more about that as the year goes on, because depending on the problem and depending on what we're doing, the amount of work I'm going to want to see will kind of change a little bit, okay? But just as a default, I want to see almost everything that you're doing. That way I can kind of check your work and check and see what you're thinking and how you're doing. All right. If you are a full-time online learner for right now, please make sure that you checked the schedule from the very first classroom we went through to see when the Zoom sessions are. If you have questions for me, that is when you want to ask them to get them answered. You also can obviously get in contact with me through my email and all the things like that, but please make sure you paid attention to that. okay? Additionally, with today, you're going to see you have to turn in your math biography from yesterday. You're going to see that a few times throughout the year where we may have assignments that are due in the following days. Please look for those turn-in spots in those following days, all right? If you miss those turn-in spots and you don't turn them in, you're not going to get credit for those. We want to make sure that we turn everything in on time as much as possible. All right, so please make sure that you see those uploading. You go ahead and you upload and you turn those assignments in. All right. Additionally, if you go and you turn something in late, there's a procedure that you need to follow if you would like that to get graded, all right? I'm going to be grading things on a certain timeline, and if you turn them in after that timeline, it's very hard for me to see what you did or did not do. So what you need to do is you need to get in contact with me if you turn in something late. That means send me an email when you turn it in and say, hey, Mr. Guy, here are the assignments I turned in, list those assignments, and then say thank you and your name. That's all I need to see, okay? If you turn that in, send that to me that way, I will go back in, I'll find where it is, and I'll grade it, all right? But if you turn something in late, please make sure you get in contact with me. It is hard for me to follow along if you're turning in things late. The best thing to do is just not turn stuff in late. Make sure you're keeping up with us as we go. The last thing I notice on here in terms of what every day is going to kind of look like is the very last part, which is the lesson checkpoint. This basically is like a conclusion or ticket out the door, whatever you've had in previous classes. It's basically going to be just a mini sort of quick assessment or quick kind of questions we're going to ask you every day just to kind of make sure that you're understanding what we're going through, okay? So you'll kind of go through and you'll see like, all right, here's my answers. Here's what this is. Here's what this is. You'll kind of go through and answer all the questions as you go. All right. Now, in addition to that, the other thing that's going to happen almost every day, most of the days, is that you're going to have some sort of video that you are going to be watching that is going to basically involve your notes that you're going to have or that sort of thing. All right. Now, this year's a little bit different in that we're not going to be handing out the sort of guided notes that you may be used to from 7th grade. It's going to be very much notes on your own. What that means is that you're all going to have a spiral notebook and you're going to be taking kind of notes in there. Now, when you go to take notes, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to take these notes and write down every single word that I say. You want to make sure that you're only kind of taking the highlights as you go. In addition to that, I will be providing, after each lesson is over, a copy of my filled-in notes, so you have that sort of a resource to go back to. The main reason why I want you to take notes as you're watching is that research actually shows if you write down what I'm saying as I say it, you are much more likely to remember it the next day. It's kind of like a cheat sheet for your brain to hold on to that information. This must be important because he's saying it and I'm writing it down. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's kind of take a look at an example of what one of these videos will look like. So this is the one that you're going to be watching today. It's sort of a silly video, it doesn't have to do with math, more just to kind of get you into the idea of what we're going to be expecting you to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the page that it's on, and then there's going to be one of two things that's there. It's either going to just be a video from YouTube. So you'll just click on it, video from YouTube, you watch or whatever, or sometimes we're going to have these videos that are embedded in a program called Nearpod. When you have the video embedded in Nearpod, what you're going to do is you're going to open it full screen. Okay, so you're going to click on, all right, I want to open this full screen. You put your name in, and then you go ahead and you watch the video. Now, when you're watching the video, okay, so here we'll join this. Here's the video. We'll go ahead and click. We watch the video. Here are the things that I'm expecting from you while you watch the video. Number one, you need to actually watch the video. I can see if you watch or not. In addition, if you sleep through it, or you just play it and put it on mute, put your headphones in and go do something else, you're not going to get anything out of the video and you're going to get very confused and fall very far behind, okay? All of the videos are under 15 minutes. They're all short, okay? Nothing in here is going to be super long. So just watch the video and take notes while you're watching it. Again, it's a cheat sheet for your brain. If you're writing it down while you're listening to it, you're going to have a much better time remembering it the next day. So that's kind of what my goal is for you, is to write down some notes while you're watching the video. And you'll kind of see I'll highlight some important things to make sure you write down or otherwise. is, all right? Now, if it's a YouTube video, you'll watch the video, and then you'll move on to whatever the next assignment is, okay? And you'll go through and you'll do all that. If it's something embedded in Nearpod, like this very first one that we're looking at, what you're going to do is you'll go in, you'll watch the video that's there, and then you'll click on this blue arrow over here, and it'll take you into some questions about the video. This is a way for me to kind of interact to see what you're understanding or not understanding within this program, okay? It'll also have some other activities we may do from time to time where you can interact with each other, and we'll see a couple different things that we can kind of do with this. But you want to go through and you want to keep going and keep answering questions, okay? We're going to not answer, but you should answer it, okay? We'll keep going, we'll keep answering questions, and we'll just keep going through until we've answered every question, okay? You'll see there's a couple different questions here going through, and it'll say when you get to the end, either tap to start over or you're done or whatever, all right? When you're finished that, then you can exit out, move into the next thing that's on the Schoology, and keep going on your merry way. Again, one really good thing to do is to make sure at the very end, when you're done your lesson checkpoint and all that stuff, go back to the agenda, go back to that list of things that we can see. All right, so we go all the way back to the lesson overview, back to where we have the agenda, and make sure that you've done all of the things that are here. Okay, I watched the intro video. I looked at the work expectation document. I watched the How to Get What You Want birthday video in Nearpod. Oh wait, I didn't actually answer any of the questions. Let me go back and do that and make sure I have that done. All right. So that's kind of what every single day is going to look like in general. This is kind of the big overarching thing you're going to see every day. You're going to have a lesson overview with the objectives and the agenda, and you're going to have a lesson checkpoint at the end. Most days you're going to have a video. Either it'll be YouTube, you just watch it and you're done, or it'll be Nearpod, you watch it and answer some questions, and then you'll have some other work and assignments that'll all be listed here in the agenda. Again, please make sure you go back and look at those examples of what I want from pictures of your work and what I'm expecting from you, all right? Welcome to 8th grade. This is going to be a great year and a great time. 8th grade is really, we start to put a lot of responsibility on you guys. You're going to be at the high school next year, so this is kind of us getting ready for that, all right? So if you have any questions, if you're in person, please come see me and ask me, and if you are an online learner, please make sure you attend one of the Zoom sessions that we'll be having and make sure you get your questions answered, all right? Thank you very much and have a nice day.